Today's review is for Alita Battle Angel, directed by Robert Rodriguez and produced by James Cameron, and stars Rosa Salazar, Christoph Waltz, Ed Skrein, Kian Johnson, sorry if I butchered that name, Jennifer Connelly, Mahershala Ali, and Jackie Earle Haley, sorry if I butchered that name too, and tells the story of a female cyborg named Alita, who is rebuilt and sets out on a journey to find her true self while battling against any other cyborgs who stand in her way. One of the reasons I was looking forward to this movie was because James Cameron is involved, and I love me some Cameron. I loved many of his movies: Aliens, Avatar, The Abyss, Terminator, and Terminator 2 Judgment Day, with the only exception actually being Titanic. Yeah, I'm not exactly one of those people that really liked Titanic. But aside from that, yeah, I love James Cameron as a filmmaker. He has a unique vision and a style of sci-fi that really keeps me coming back for more. And I was definitely interested to see what he could do with this film, even as just the producer. From what I hear, this is actually a film he wanted to make for a long time. It's based on an anime slash manga, which of course I have no real knowledge of, as goes with pretty much every anime ever. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. I don't know why, it's just never really caught my interest. So yeah, I view movies like this simply as films, not really as adaptations because I'm not a huge anime fan. You know. Anyways, now he's finally getting the chance to make this passion project of his with Robert Rodriguez helping out in the director's chair. And I was pretty impressed by Alita Battle Angel. I found myself smiling quite a lot throughout this movie. This is a really beautifully made and very immersive experience that really keeps you into it, as you do get to learn an awful lot about the world that these characters live in, as well as the characters themselves. Because this film actually has quite a lot going for it, especially with the main character, Alita, played by Rosa Salazar. I actually found her character development in this movie to be really compelling here. She starts off as just a simple teenage girl learning her place in the city, and it's pretty funny and even cute to see her interact with all of these new things that she's discovering, which is basically the same kind of fish out of water scenario with Wonder Woman and Thor pretty much. Except, cuter. Though as the film goes on, we definitely get to see her become more and more like this badass action hero, and it actually works pretty well. Rosa Salazar did a really damn good job playing this character, and I do look forward to seeing what else she does next. I'll even say that the romance she has with Kian Johnson's character, Hugo, also wasn't that bad. They have some decent chemistry together, and it actually works just fine. It has some really funny and emotional moments to give off, and I really bought into it. I also really enjoyed the world building in this movie. I mean, everything in this whole environment that these characters live in is just really unique and extremely fascinating. This is the kind of universe I'd imagine from Star Wars. It's my favorite fictional world since Wakanda from Black Panther, or the entirety of the world of Blade Runner. It's such an amazing style of a fictional world that I actually wish it were a real civilization where you could visit. Well, maybe not, because it's also pretty dangerous, but you get the idea. It's amazing. As for issues, I have a couple. Like, for one thing, the villains are pretty one note. Like, the main villain, Vector, played by Mahershala Ali, is just some big, evil, bad guy. I mean, he's not really a cartoon villain, but the film just never really gives us a reason to be that interested in him. Pretty much all he does is just order a bunch of cyborgs to hunt and kill Alita, and help this one big cyborg named Gruishka be rebuilt after being damaged in battle at one point. Hell, he's barely even the real villain of this whole plot. His whole plot is mostly just being spoken through like a microphone through this other villain. He's basically a puppet, and that's it. Heck, he even gets called that at one point in this movie. Although I did find the other villains in the film to at least be somewhat pretty cool. Like, there's this one big cyborg named Gruishka, who I mentioned earlier, and he's pretty cool. He later on gets these pretty awesome chain fingers, which are basically like finger versions of Scorpion's weapon from Mortal Kombat. It was pretty cool. And there's also this other guy named Sapan, played by Ed Skrein, or Francis, from Deadpool. And he at the very least had some pretty intimidating and even somewhat kind of funny quotes to give off. The funniest one being the last scene we see him in. It's pretty funny, trust me. Though also, if not, a little bit visually terrifying. Other than that, yeah, the villains are definitely an aspect of the film I feel like could have been tweaked a little. Also, while the acting is pretty spot on for the most part, I consider Jennifer Connelly to be an exception because she just kind of talks in the same tone of voice throughout the whole film, sometimes even giving the same face in many scenes. It was pretty off for me. I'm not sure who to blame for this. Is it the actress? Is it the director? Is it both? I don't know. Either way, Connelly's acting in this movie just wasn't really that great to me. So, while I wouldn't exactly consider Alita Battle Angel to be one of the best works by either Cameron or Rodriguez, I did like it enough to consider it somewhat worth watching. It has a lot of really great effects, well-written characters, a beautiful, beautiful environment, and tons of really amazing action sequences. It was basically what Mortal Engines should have been. A well-written, immersive, and overall, a really fun time. I really liked it. I'm going to give Alita Battle Angel a 7 out of 10. I'm pretty sure that, like pretty much every single anime live-action movie that has come out in the past, a lot of anime fans and manga fans are gonna just like totally tear this movie apart. Though I wouldn't blame them. I mean, even though I'm not exactly a big anime fan, I can definitely agree with those hardcore anime fans that certain anime live action movies just really suck. Although I actually have heard some anime fans say that they consider this the best anime adaptation, so that should count for something, right? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'll see you next time, and peace out.